Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch with a little bit of paper crafting thrown in here and there. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see, hit like, subscribe, feel free to ask questions. I will do my very best to answer, and if I don't know, I know that all of my stitchy friends out there are super experienced, as I'll tell you in just a minute. And so I know I can ask them if I don't know the answer. And if you are a returning stitching friend, thank you so much for joining me this week, any week, whatever week, whenever you get a chance to. I really do appreciate getting a chance to go on about stitching. Nobody else in my family wants to listen to it. So it's really nice to have somebody to talk to and to just chat stitching and crafting and all of that good stuff. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here and keeping me company. So before I get to the stitching, I wanted to say a big thank you. I had asked about the interfacing last week, and as usual, you all came through. I got lots of different suggestions or ideas or things I could do. A couple people had, you talked about which interfacing you used and some tricks and advice. So thank you so very much. As usual, what I do, I have a little notebook so that when there's something I need to know answers for, I always take notes, and that way I can always look back when the time comes. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all your help with that. Okay, so stitching this week, I have 8 projects to show you. So a little less project heavy than some of the previous weeks that we've had. And then some shopping, mostly fabric maybe to show you. And then just a little bit more from there. It might be a little bit shorter this week, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much I ramble. So let's go going the stitching. So first piece that I worked on this week, and I don't necessarily say, okay, Tuesdays is just this day or Wednesdays is just this day. Some projects I give a little bit of love to almost every day of the week. Some I may do a chunk and then say, ooh, I want to do a little bit more. Or some I might have a good stitching day and be at a good stopping point for something and then just leave it be. So it's sort of in order, but not really in order. It's just a way for me to keep track of things. No particular hard and fast order, but then I don't have any really particular rules for my stitching anyway. So Serena Sprout, I pulled her out. Oh, I didn't mean to rhyme. This is from Autumn Lane Stitchery. Make it a little bit bigger. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And they chose Friendship Green, I believe, by Fabrics by Stephanie. I am doing something on Friendship Green, but mine is Aida, theirs was not. So I think theirs looks greener than what my Friendship Green will look like because it's on a different type of fabric. I wanted something a little bit brighter, which is why I went with the Honeydew Melon. And this is 18 count Honeydew Melon from To Die For Fabrics. So here we go at its distance. She's starting to take shape, and really this corner was where work got done. So at this point, all of the floral part right here, I have some back stitch to do, but I think I might wait and do a lot of the back stitch at the end. Actually, I haven't done any of it yet. That's probably what I'm going to do rather than adding it as I go. And then we worked on the dress. Now this gets really pretty. There's a design down here, but for now this will be in areas. Well, I think there's floral aspects here, but then you have just the different colors come down. So we're getting there. This will take some time though. There's a lot of stitching here, but I do so enjoy it. You know, I love a good purple, so I'm always up for stitching something in purple. So that always makes it fun for me. And so this is, I believe, the bottom. Yes. So that's how, at the very bottom, that's how far it'll go. And I think, I have almost everything. There'll be a little bit of floral over here, but just to give you an idea, it's probably a similar size to, what's the other one I'm doing? Oh, Autumn Town. generally a similar size, I think. I've never fully measured them, but this is full coverage. Autumn Town is much more full coverage, but a lot of fun. And yeah, enjoying it. I do not know what I'm going to do next week for, I don't have a spot, you know what, right behind me here. For my stitching plans next week. We'll see. I'll talk about that sort of in plans, sort of in life, and just go from there. So I don't know what you're going to see next time I come at you. Now, this next one I haven't stitched in ages. After I finished my stocking that I showed you last week, which is my stocking, non-stocking, right? It's going to go in the scrapbook. I went through and I looked for my next oldest because the stocking was the oldest. Now, technically, McChristmas would be the next oldest, but that was McChristmas on the ivory. Since I abandoned that project and I restarted him on the lilac color, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, he's no longer the oldest. I kind of put him in the rotation when he got started. So my oldest project now would be a start from May of 2020. In that May, I started 4 new projects, kind of for a mania sort of thing. It was my first time ever experiencing mania in any of its forms. I had not been following Flosstube the following May. I decided I just wanted to pick 4 projects. They were bigger projects. They were either autumn, Halloween, Christmas. They were all along those lines. And 3 of the 4 got done. Kringles did not. So Kringles is now something I want to try to focus on. I mean, and the other thing is, I'm taking a floor out of Kringles. Kringles is going to be a 2-story department building rather than a 3. I do not know. I think, no, I don't know. I mean, the chandeliers will be in these front. I don't know if I'll keep these or if I'll take other elements from a different window. I have no idea what I'm doing yet. So what I'm doing right now is just trying to get all the structure done. And obviously this is going to stay as is. And then I will figure out probably, well, I'll need to have some sort of idea, won't I? I do like, for example, I like this clock in the center, and that one probably will stay. Other than that, I'm not sure. I'll pick and choose what I'm going to do. And 3 of these window displays will not be stitched. I did not get anywhere near as much as I wanted to on this. I pulled it out, actually it might have been last Friday. I pulled it out and I got stitching in. I was doing something. I don't remember what. It was kind of something that I couldn't really concentrate on changing colors and counting. So I did a really easy spot. And then I put it, I don't know if I'd call it in a safe place. You know what happens when I put things in safe places, which happened to one of my stitched ATCs this week. But it was put away, and I thought in my brain away when I would have wanted to stitch more this week on it. So that's where I am. And I have really sorry progress this week. What I did was I wanted to focus. I didn't even get, I would have liked to at least get the sign done. I think I was over by the G, and so I worked all, oh, that really helps if you can't see it. I worked all the way over here. And so that's the end of the sign. And those will be the 2 stories. So I almost have the bottom part underneath the little reindeer there. There's a little bit of the building and then the steps over here. And so that'll be, let me make this a little bit less tight to the borders so you can see. So that's where that is. And I'll have 5 windows to fill. Now, the other thing I'm thinking about changing, I just don't know what I'm changing it to. Do you see? I'm going to bring this up really close. On either side of the Kringle sign, there are snowflakes. If I look at it like this and I don't know they're there, I actually can't see them. They're done in whatever is kind of the ecru that the snow and all the other things are in. So because this is more of a less bright sort of color tone, it's a muted color tone, I don't necessarily think I want to do the snowflakes in white, but if you look, okay, you can see the snow up top when it's on top of the building, but I'm really not sure if I use that same color, if those snowflakes will even show up on either side. So whether or not I use maybe some étoile or something else, I think I want to change up the color that's charted for those two snowflakes. Everything else, I am using the DMC choices. I think some of it might be charted in DMC and then some of it is a variegated floss, which I have just used. They give you the DMC alternatives. So I will keep all of those others. I think at this point I've started it with that color palette, so I'm going to finish that. So I don't have a plan on how I'm going to stitch this. I'm not quite ready. I have too much to do to make this an everyday kind of project because there's still a lot to finish. What I might try to do is, though, really focus on getting the outline of the building done. So maybe that'll be a focus to a certain degree. Then give me a chance to think about what windows I want to have in my design, and then I can get back to stitching it. I don't necessarily think it'll be done for Christmas this year. I don't even know what I'm doing with it. It might be something that I will just kind of mat on some sort of matting board, and my plan is most likely not to do anything super fancy with what's going up on my shelves, but I do have some IKEA shelves that do have to go up, and then I can put projects on there or rotate and things like that. I think that's my plan on this one, but I do want to get moving because now we're talking what? That was May of 2020. So we are way past 2 years at this point, and if I don't get cracking on it, it's never going to get done. So my goal at this point, I think with this one, is to try to finish the outline, then kind of make some decisions from there. So hold me to that. Make sure I'm working on my outline. Okay, next. I worked on just one full coverage this week. I think for now, what I might do with my full coverage, so I was giving them about 7 days and then rotating. I think I want to give a project 10 days. And I try to average somewhere around 150 stitches a day. Some days I don't get anywhere near that. Some days maybe I have a little bit more time and I do a little bit more. I try to do a little bit each day on my full coverages. And for 10 days, that might get me 1,500 stitches for that slot of time. I've been finding that at the 7th day, I'm not always ready to give it up yet. So I think I'm going to try this and we'll see what works, right? Again, some days, some weeks it might be 9, some it might be 11. Again, we'll see. But this week, what I did focus on was Minnie Watching the World Go By. And the artwork is by Lucy Pittaway. I love her whole range of designs. They are adorable. I think I have one with the Christmas house. I have it as a mini, and then there's a cute one with balloons as well. I don't think I have that one yet. It's probably on my wish list. But she has a lot of cute designs, and I really, really like them a lot. I love the color. The sheep are kind of cute, and I'm enjoying it. Again, upper left corner. So that's where I am. This, I extended this all the way. That's the last of that dark color, and then you get more of this color going across. But let me come up close here. So I did a combo. I did work on that. I worked on filling in extra here, and then I've also been chipping away at the clouds. So like usual, I will pick a symbol, start going. It's all, you know, those symbols might be in a bunch of different spots with the clouds. I'll do that, then I'll go back, do a little bit of the blue, and go back and forth. Because if you look at this, obviously I have another row of clouds to do. Woo. But that's a lot of blue up top. So, ooh. Breathing and swallowing. I can't tell you how many times I do that, where I'm like, take a breath, but don't be swallowing at the same time. And then you choke yourself. It's crazy. So anyway, let's try not to do that on the video, huh? But that is where I am. And I'm enjoying it because you can now start to see the clouds. They're coming out as a little bit more distinct. And then when I get tired of kind of doing that, I go over there. So I think this one has maybe through the weekend. I don't remember exactly. It's got a little bit more time. So we'll get a little bit more progress on it. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not ready to give it up. And I would have already had to have given it up if I had kept my old routine. So I think I'm going to like this, at least for now, until I want to work on everything, right? Okay, next one. I started this last video, I believe. I had it as a start, and I decided I wanted to keep going on it. We're kind of transitioning into some autumn, but I'm not ready to give up all of my summer and all of my other things and starts. But I have had this, I said this last time, I've had this for ages. And so I finally said, I want to start it. So it's Forest by Satsuma Street. Isn't that pretty? Now she's got it on a lovely ivory, does it say? Oh, it's a Charles Craft linen called Tea Dyed, actually. And the colors pop on that. I decided I wanted it to be more, oh, you can see it even nicer over here. I wanted it to be more nature related with the fabric itself. So when I do choices of fabric color, you know, a lot of times for summer or ocean, I like to pick blues. If I'm doing something outside that might be some other type of outside, a lot of times I look at greens, and this time I did. And I had this fabric sitting with this chart all that time. It was just waiting for a start, and I just kept putting it off. I'm gonna fold this over. Whoa, I've got this cut funny. I have to cut it completely down, and I just haven't done that yet. This is my Friendship Green. So this is the 18 count Aida Friendship Green. Oh, and on the full cover, oh boy, thinking about it, I have been talking about my projects, and I didn't tell you much of anything when it came to fabrics, did I? Go back for a sec. 18 count Artemis by Bestitchme. I don't think I told you. I know I didn't. It's obvious. It's white Aida, but it's 18 count white Aida, 2 strands over 1 full cross. Okay. I'm thrown off this week. Not sure why. Back to Forest. So this is an 18 count Friendship Green. So it does look a little bit different in the Aida than it did in whatever Autumn Lane used it, whatever count they did. I think it might be an even wave. I don't think it was a linen that they used for Serena Sprout. So always take that into, you know, a little bit of a count when I'm showing mine, if you're doing it in something different than, say, the Aidas. And even the Aidas can be different shades as well. But I am loving these colors on the green. There are no greens in this. So there are the blue shades, and then the oranges, the yellows, and then even some fuchsia. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a fuchsia there on the trunk of the tree. So I had jokingly said, oh, maybe I'll try a tree a week. Now, again, that would mean this whole thing next week, which I don't know, that's a lot. I wasn't sure I could do, I was thinking, well, first I did this. I said, well, I'll do this little guy. But that didn't take long. That took a lot faster than I thought. So I said, well, let's start this guy. And I got a decent chunk done. So I said, I'll just finish him. So I actually did 2 trees this week. So will you see this every week? Probably not, because I have too many projects I like to stitch. But I kind of like that somewhat of a goal, either half a tree or a tree, whenever I do pick it up for a stitching session on any given week. So that's Forest by Satsuma Street. And some of you said you have it. Come and start it, and let me see it. I want to see what fabric you chose and what yours is looking like. You know I love it when I get a chance to see inspiration from you all when you're doing something I'm stitching as well. Okay. These piles are very precarious. If everything stays where it's supposed to without falling, it'll be a good week. All right. This you do see every week because I am bound and determined to get this project done. I have chosen this project, the Halloween calendar from Tiny Modernist. And if you're totally new, I am not stitching this as one big piece. I am breaking it completely down into multiple pieces. So each day is a different stitch. And I am not stitching the border. I couldn't decide because I wasn't sure how I was finishing it and so on and so forth. So I decided not to. Janet Jabber is stitching this, and she's stitching them with the border. It's super cute with the border. So check her out if you want to see what she does is it Wicked Wednesday? It's not like I don't watch her every week, right? I think it's Wicked Wednesday. And so on Wednesdays, she sometimes gets one done. Sometimes, you know, these little guys have a lot of stitches in them. You'd be surprised. So when I do them, I take a little chunk of time for like 3-4 days before getting one done, as opposed to just trying to get it all done in a day. I think Janet's up, I'd say the second row, somewhere from between day 4 and day 9. I can't remember. So she's up there. I am down, where is it? Down here. I'm on day 25. Now, most of the time I'm switching my days between 3 different fabrics. You can't see it, but I'm holding up 4 fingers when I say that. 3 different fabrics. And then I'm choosing certain days to stitch them in black. Obviously, obviously this one, day 15, I wanted black fabric because I didn't want to stitch all that. And then I think day 9, I can see it right here, day 20, day 25, and I'll do one more. I'll do day 29 on the black. But here we go. So it's just 18 count, if I can just put this behind it, 18 count black Aida. Very stiff, really hard for me to stitch through at some points. I was giving myself, and I mean, look at them. There's not much there, right? I think I had just done the 2 numbers and I was giving myself a blister while I was stitching. So I put that away for the day and then just did little chunks each day. Now he's supposed to, if you can see, he's supposed to have a little face, and I had every intention of doing that, but I didn't pay attention, and his skull is actually 1 row too small. So if I try to do his face, it'll be all scrunched up. So I said he's not going to smile. He's going to be unsmiling and just be like that. I don't think, whether I put it as like a little ornament for a little tabletop tree or other options like a banner or something, nobody's going to look that close to say, well, your skeleton doesn't have a face. So I'm not particularly worried about it. I planned on doing it. I adjusted the plans after I realized I'd messed up. So next week we are on the jack-o'-lantern, day 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days. 6 more days, which is scary because I think this is the middle of October when I get this finished. So when I'm on the last day, we'll already be in the middle of October. Oh boy, I'm not ready. I know a lot of you are ready for summer to go because it's been hot, and I get it, it's hot, but I'm not ready. I love autumn. It's an awesome season, but I do not like winter. It's my least favorite. And I'm already sad because the sun is going down before 8 o'clock now. So it's getting darker earlier. We don't like that. I don't like that. Not a fan of that. All right, I think that's all I'm gonna be able to put there without everything falling. Next, so each week I have been stitching an artist trading card, an ATC. I went to go finish my bumblebee one, my bee one. I couldn't find it. And I'd finally gotten the thing in that I wanted to get in to try to do a finish. I had an idea. I couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. I finally did, but I've got to stop putting things in safe places because next thing you know, you can't find them at all. Now I'm going to do my very best. I don't even know if I'll be able to do this. We'll see if I can do this. I'm going to do my very best to show you what I'm stitching. The issue is, it's from a book. It's from Whimsical Cross Stitch from Carrie Buziak. I got this off of Amazon. I had it on a wait list for a while because it was out of stock. And so every once in a while, what I do is I put it on my wish list, and then every once in a while I check my wish list, and when it showed up, and it showed up as a normal price, you know, not a crazy expensive price, so I picked it up. And it's cute. It's got a lot of cute patterns. Here's some if you see in the back. Oh, too bad they don't show the one I'm stitching. They don't. So anyway, let's see if I can do this. I'm trying to block one hole because they have the charts. I'm gonna do the best I can. You see that fish? You're not gonna be able to see his fins, but it's that fish right there. I'm calling him the rainbow fish because he kind of reminds me of those colors, especially the fabric I chose. If you remember the rainbow fish story from when kids were little. This is way more dense, way more dense than I realized. I thought, I picked him out. I said, okay, that'll be a 1 week project. Nope. I'll be lucky to be a 2 week project. That's where I am. He is dense. So this is an 18 count ice blue opal fabric. It's beautiful. I had picked it up, and have I done them? No. The Brooks books, do you know is it the 30, does she do 31 days? And she's got the little animal ornament thingies. They're free. They're on the Brooks Books site for free. Jenny Long Dog Stitcher did them, and they were adorable. And so I said, I have to do those. And I got a nice size piece of this, which I thought it would be nice to do them all on. And I printed them out, and then I've not done anything with them. But when I saw this fish, I said, oh, how cute would it be on this fabric? And I have something else that I'm slating this fabric for. So by the time I get to those projects, I won't have any of the fabric left. But I thought it was cute. Doesn't have an eyeball yet. I did accidentally. So the lighter teal and the darker teal are switched. I somehow or other transcribed the symbols in my head and the numbers, but that's all right. You're not going to know the difference, right? And then big purple. And so there's a big fin here yet. And, you know, little fins at the bottom and the eye and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot left to this guy. But this will eventually become an artist trading card in ATC. It will fall under the 2.5, 3.5 spot of size. This I'm going to put on the floor. I'm going to do it quietly without throwing it. Sorry if that was noisy. Yeah, that one, I kind of did a misfire. When I was looking at the pattern, I overestimated what I could do. Oh well, it happens, right? I'm just doing my best to get a bunch of the little guys stitched, and then I have finishing ideas, but do I have everything? Like the sunflower, I have an idea of what I want to do, but do I have everything? No. So I did find what I want to buy, and it's not expensive, so that's good. But then how I wanted to finish the bee, I needed one little supply, and you know, it's a whole nother rabbit hole of supplies and everything else, right? So I pulled out, I'm calling it my shamrock piece. It's actually called Colorful Dog from Wonderland, Ukraine. And that's what it is there. Let's make it even bigger so you can see. Isn't it adorable? I am down in this area. Make sure the orange so I know which way. It's still, he's got the eye, but it's still abstract. This whole chunk right here is what I stitched. His nose is coming over here, but underneath the eye, and then all of that orange right there. That is so much more than you think it is. And then some of those colors under the eye were over here. So I did extend over there a little bit and go to that direction. But for the most part, I stayed over here. And this is over 500 stitches. I definitely gave it over 500 for this guy. And looking at it, I look at that and I say, 500, you gotta be kidding me. But it is. So it's plugging along. This is 18 count Honeydew Melon, like Serena Sprout from To Die For Fabrics. I think I did Serena, and I did a mini, and I might have done an artist trading card, and I'm done. I don't have any more of that fabric left. I think that one piece got me all those projects. I have been having so much fun keeping the little scraps now, and I go through those when I go to choose fabric for my artist trading card, although for my fish, I wanted that sparkle. So I did cut into that. But this is my shamrock piece. Slowly but surely, I'm just gonna keep plugging away, and one day it'll be done. And I will most likely put him up in my craft room here so that I can look at him and have a little shamrock fix whenever I need it. All right, the last one is a new start. Oh, and I wanted to see what fabric this is. I forgot to check. I have an idea, but I didn't. Ooh, I was right. I wasn't sure before I tell you the wrong thing. Hold on one second. Okay. Sometimes when you bend over, you're not sure you can stand back up again. I don't know about the rest of you, but a little cottage from Hands On Design. I gotta be careful because the pattern's on the other side. I had this one out and I had it paired with the fabric, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna start it. It's small enough, so I'm going to. I am not. If you look up close here, see this sign? It is all stitched in white, or what's it called for? Oatmeal or 3865, if I'm using, which I'm using DMC. I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep it open. I just feel like it'll get too crowded if I stitch all of that around my words. And the only other thing I changed, that before you see it, the Y, so this says a little cottage by the sea. The Y in by the sea didn't look like a Y the way it was charted. Now, I had already done the B part and I had gone down to the word sea. I would have completely changed a little bit more if I could have, but it was completely already in and I would have had to pull out a lot. So I just changed the Y a little bit so it looks more like a Y. But that's what I've got. So I'm doing purple. Yep. So I've done purple for Christmas, purple for summer, purple. I'm going to be doing purple for Halloween. So many different choices. This is an 18 count purple haze from To Dye For Fabrics. And I went looking for it and I didn't see it on Kimberly's site. I'm going to reach out to Kimberly and ask her about it because I love this color. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful shade of purple. And I don't know if she's renamed it, if she's not doing it anymore, or for some reason it's just not on the site. Sometimes what she does is if certain things need certain dye formulas, she puts them on only certain times so that she can keep her, because her shipping schedule is pretty good. The turnaround, 2 weeks, which for most hand dyers is unheard of. So I know sometimes she rotates colors in and out because some of them are a little bit more intensive. And I don't know the whole ins and outs of it, but it makes, you know, whatever's easiest for her, right? And she gets the fabric out so fast. So, but if you're interested, you can ask her. It's called Purple Haze, and I will ask as well because I'd be interested in knowing if it's changed so that I can say so while I'm working on this. But see, look at the sign. The only thing I am going to do is I will fill in on the shell where the openings are. I'll put some white stitches, 3865, white, whatever. I don't even know. I'll just pull a white. But other than that, I'm going to leave it open and not stitch around the letters. But I was curious to see what these colors would look like. And we have, you know, kind of a pewter gray, a steel bluish / gray, you know, and then more reddish. And I think they all look great on here. So I really think the colors are going to pop nicely on the purple. So that was my last project this week. And besides my minis, my only new start, obviously the minis, they're new starts, but they're also very often quick finishes too. This one will take me a little longer. So that's the stitching. That's all the pieces I did this week. Plans, I am not 100% sure. I think now I've kind of talked myself into maybe doing some of the structure on Kringles. I do want to do that. And then obviously my Halloween, I'll start my next day 26 and probably work on the fish some more because I would like to get several trading cards stitched and done so I can send them out because I can only send out as fast as I make them. So I want to get that done. But other than that, I'm not really sure what my plans are. I guess we'll have to see. Okay, shopping. I have mostly fabric, but I did pick up one digital pattern. I had been thinking about it for a while, and it's just so cute. It is Cup of Cheer by Shannon Christine Designs. Now this is the black and white version. I'll link Shannon Christine down below. If you look under the shopping section, she'll be linked, her shop. If you go to the Christmas designs, that's there. This is adorable. I think I'm going to stitch each of them separately. At some point, maybe I'll do a full piece, but aren't they so cute? I think they'd be adorable as little smalls. So that's my plan. I had to get it. Finally had to get it. I've been looking at it for long enough. I said, let's get it. So I did. Okay, fabric. So I have a few pieces from Bestitchme. I happen to be on, excuse me, the longer these videos go, you start to get tickles in the throat. I had been on Facebook and Brandy had posted that she had put some ready to ship fabrics. So of course I ran right over there because, you know, Brandy's busy and now she's opening up a shop. So ordering, you know, placing an order to dye can take a long time. But if she is ready to ship, we can get those quickly. So I went over there, I looked at what she had, and they're three very different colors. Very, very different. I have no specific plans for any of them, but I said, what the heck. The first one is called Hideaway. Now they're all 18 count Aida. Not a pretty green. I do have a plan of stitching, do you know the Hello from Liz Matthews, her 12 Days of Christmas? So she just showed the 7th day. I think she's releasing that at Expo. So cute, so cute. But my plan, I think, is to stitch all of them, not the trees. I'm just going to do the samplers. I'm going to stitch them on different shades of green. Some of them may be repeating. I don't know yet. 12 different shades would be an awful lot, and that would be a lot to have to coordinate, and they're not all out yet. So I don't even know what the other ones are going to look like. This one that just came out, day 7, I think would look pretty on like a sea glass-ish sort of green. But I picked this up because I'm always looking for greens, and then that project in particular, I really do want to focus on greens. So I'm going to pull, you know, what I'll do is I'll take the sample, whatever day I'm working on, pull the flosses, throw them on some greens, see what really shows. And a few times when she's done them, I know with day 1, she does give alternative selections because I think she showed the sampler and the tree in 2 different fabrics. And because of that, a couple of the flosses may have needed a bit tweaking, and I think she did offer suggestions, which was really nice. So, but I can also adjust too. If I pick a color that I really like and maybe one of the shades is going to blend in a little bit, I'll switch it up. So that at least had semi of a plan. No idea with this one, none whatsoever. It's called Tangerine, and there we go. If I go too close, it is quite a bright. It's quite bright. But you know what? Sometimes you want something bright. So that's 18 count Tangerine. And then you know I had to pick a blue. And this is a pretty bright blue. It's called Dive In. So think of a pool blue. That's what this one definitely shows up as. And I'm going to show you a different blue in a minute, and you can see the difference between how bright this is versus the other one. So it's called Dive In, 18 count Aida from Bestitchme. And then you know I'm forever ordering from Kimberly at To Die For. So I have 2 blues to show you there. So what she's been doing, she's sneaky, she gets me all the time, is each week she makes a special dye. And that fabric is good, that dye is good for 1 week. And, you know, you can order that 1 week for it. And so this was a pretty, pretty blue. It's almost with a little bit of purple tones. This was fabric color of the week number 7. Isn't that pretty? So you can't really tell, but there are a little bit of other shades in there mixed in when you see it in person. So let me show you this next to the Dive In from Brandy, and you can see the difference. So this is definitely bright blue. This is a deeper blue. And then, now I'm not sure I'm going to do the project I bought this for. I was thinking something Halloween-y, but I don't think I'm going to do it after all. And I wanted a navy-ish. So this is Starry Night Blue. It's not navy, but look, if you hold it up against, you can see how much darker it is versus the Fabric of the Week blue. It's a pretty blue without being navy. So, like crazy navy, like deep, deep dark. Kind of like if you wanted chalkboard rather than the black fabric, sometimes it's a little bit more grayish. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do on this now. I'm changing my mind, but that's all right. You know me, I love doing my Santas flying over villages, and I like to do more of a navy sometimes. So maybe that'll happen with this, depending on what the colors. If the colors are nice and bright and fun and cheerful, this might look nice. We'll see. I have a weakness for Santas flying over villages. Now to stitch them all is another question. So that's it. That's the shopping. Okay. So let's pick our winner from last week's giveaway. All the others I've heard from everybody, and it's all out, gone, done. This week I had an extra copy of Betsy's Autumn. I am working on this myself. I'm still on track to have it finished hopefully by the end of August. I put in a ridiculously small amount of stitches on it. I don't even remember when, so I didn't show it to you because I think that was like pumpkin stems and that was it. So I didn't pull it out. It would be silly to do that. So I had an extra copy, so I said I'd like to share that so one of you can stitch it. I've always liked this pattern. It's the tree. It's the tree with the flowing leaves. That's why I really like it. And I did, as I keep going, I did change up. I kept all the pumpkins one color. Plum Street kind of does the same thing as Prairie Schooler sometimes, and their pumpkins end up brownish with the DMC option they give. So I picked the one that was more orangey, and I did them all in that color. And the winner is, let me pull the name out. Here we go. Who won? Tenzi Marcos Bodker. Let me put the thing up here so that we can make sure I get this right. Tenzi Marcos Bodker is what I'm going to guess, but I'm going to put the name up so that you get a chance to see. If I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. I do my very best. I practice as I'm writing them down. Congratulations, you won the pattern. So if you could get back to me within 2 weeks' time, I will get that out to you. I'm going to put your name in there, and I'm going to put, oops, I don't want to put her upside down. I'm going to put Betsy in there as well. There we go. So now we won't lose it. So that's that. This week, I'm going to do just super, super simple. I know some of you like to stitch on black, but sometimes those 18 counts or 28 counts or 32 counts can be a little bit too much. And I was sent some 14 count black Aida. So I am going to, this is a 18 by 21 piece. So you could get a lot on here. So I am going to give away this 18 by 21 piece of 14 count black Aida. And now let's see what's going on right now. I don't know what word to say. I hadn't planned that. I knew what I was going to give away. You know what? It has the orange strip. That's the Zweigart, right? Was that what that means? So say the word orange for the black Aida. So somewhere in your comment, you say the word orange. I will put your name in the blue bowl for the 18 by 21 piece of 14 count Aida. All right, so that's it. Yes, see, a little bit shorter today. That's okay. If you are not here for anything else, then have a fabulous week. And I am not 100% sure if I will film next week. We will be thick and heavy into getting Connor really ready to be out the door and back to school. And there's some things that have to be done with the school and things he has to do himself. And I have some doctor's appointments to go to, just general, checkup-y things. So I do not know next week what will be the status of a video. So if you don't see one, it just got too crazy. I just wasn't able to film, and there'll be a lot of stitching. Either I'll do a ton of projects, or maybe I'll get a lot of progress on a smaller amount of projects, because it'd be a couple weeks stitching. We'll see. So up in the air next week. If I know I can't get a video out, I'll put a note in the, I sort of figured out how to do that on YouTube in the community tab thingy, where you can put little notes, you know, type of thing. So I'll do my best. And if I can figure it out again, and I know I'm not going to be able to do a film of that week, I will let you know. So yeah, so this coming week is going to be quite busy. My mom is having surgery on her wrist today. She fell and broke it, and they tried to do it non-surgically, and it didn't work. The bones moved all over the place. So she's getting that done. So, you know, hopefully I'll be able to see her in a few days and get a chance to kind of catch up. Like I said, I have some doctor's appointments. I have a whole bunch of things I want to pick up, errands and this and that and stuff, because we're going to be going to Connecticut. And just a lot before we get Connor up to school. So it's going to be a very kind of busy, errandy kind of week. Do you know what I mean? So maybe I won't even have a lot of stitching. I do try to do a little bit of stitching every day, just for my own kind of mental grounding. Do you know what I mean? I mean, okay, I meditate and I do yoga and stuff, but I also think of stitching as a way for me to just relax. So I do try to do at least a tiny bit every day. So hopefully I will be able to do that. I'm bringing a bag full of projects just in case I can't decide what to do. So I don't have any excuses. I'll have lots and lots of choices. But yeah, I'm not sure what to expect. It should be kind of a little bit crazy, a little bit whirlwind. But we'll see. Megan had a great 21st birthday last weekend, and she's back at school. Just trying to get Connor packed right now. This is going to be a multi-stage process here, and then Connecticut, and then get him to Massachusetts. And then hopefully we will be back, and hopefully Mo, he's off crutches. He's just in the boot. So that's great. I mean, if we go for a walk around the neighborhood, he still uses the scooter because he's slow with just the boot. Plus, I don't want him overdoing it with just the boot, you know, because he's putting weight on it, but you know, I don't want to be with the point where it's too much and then all of a sudden he hurts himself. He accidentally stomped it the other day, and I was like, you did not just do that, did you? Luckily, it's okay. But, you know, I was like, you got to be careful. We are so close at this point. You are not to do anything that's going to wreck it. So but that was a relief. No crutch, just boot. And hopefully, maybe by the time we get back, and by mid-September, oh, we'll be back by then, but hopefully by mid-September, he will be off of the boot. Obviously, he can't just jump into things, but I think he's super excited to get to that point. I know I am too. So it's been a long 3 months so far. So we are definitely ready for his next stage of rehab and recovery and all of that good stuff for this Achilles tendon. That pickleball, I'm telling you, pickleball, it'll do it to you. It's supposed to be really good for you and a lot of fun, but I can't tell you, every place we went, every single doctor and nurse, pickleball, right? Yeah. So anyway, that's really about it. I'm going to have just a kind of crazy week coming up. But hopefully I can check in or whatever. I don't know if I have an idea of how to finish my B artist trading card. I was thinking of filming a very small finish with me. It would be short because it's not an elaborate finish by any means. It's just a matter of whether or not I will have time to do that. So maybe I'll be able to, maybe next week, throw a video out there. But if not, it's coming. I know how I want to finish that one. I know what I want to do with the sunflower one. Just need a few things for that. And then I'm just having fun trying to pick some more projects. And I did start to, I'm going to work with my interfacing to get it just right. And I'm hoping in September we can also start to scrapbook. And I think Sarah Stitches and I, Sarah, that's your name, right? Your Flosstube name? Sarah Stitches. I think it is. If I'm wrong, I will put the correct one down below. We are going to stitch. Oh, I have it right here. Let me show you. Hold on a second. She has Midnight Watch from Blackbird Designs. I have it. And I think at the beginning of September, we're going to start this. So if you have it and you've thought about stitching it, you want to join us? Come join us. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay, that's it. We're going to make it short. Well, that's a relative term, right? We're making it shorter for me. I hope that you are well. I hope you are safe. I hope things are starting to cool off or heat up, depending on wherever in the world you are. I know up in Connecticut, there are awful droughts. So if you were looking for rain, I hope you're getting it. It's tough, right? So I hope things are going okay for you. I really am. And I hope we all get some stitching done and some time to just relax and just for ourselves, right? Because self-care is super important, right? Okay, that's it. Now I'm rambling. So until next time, happy stitching.